Can you guys understand what 48 inches is? 48 inches is 48 inches, not 48 and a quarter. Hey everyone, welcome back to Will of the Maker. If you saw my last video, you know that I've kind of been expanding my 3D print business setup here. I got this new shelving system here, which was basically the exact same shelving system that I bought a year and a half ago, at least so I thought. In this video, it's not really what I hoped to make, but I thought it would be worthwhile going over a little bit of a story of where potential cost reductions may go bad and even could be potentially dangerous. So with that in mind, let's go into why I am saying that. Firstly, I thought I was buying the exact same shelf. It's the Project Source heavy duty 5-shelf system from Lowe's for your garage. It looks the exact same on the website. I remember what it looked like. I went and picked it up. Looked basically the same from what I could remember. And the basic structure from a distance looks basically the same. It's the same kind of locking system for putting in the shelves. The shape of the shelves, it's all the same. So I thought I was getting the exact same product. Turns out I wasn't. Turns out it's been VAVE, basically value added, value engineered, AKA cost reduction. This happens in manufacturing. It's not a big deal. It's not a problem. It's basically companies have the option of trying to reduce their costs or increase your price. So, you know, you take it with what it is. If it doesn't really affect the performance or the product, who cares? So for the most part, I don't really care of the changes that they did, and I'm going to go over them. But there is one that I thought was very dangerous that I did not like. So we'll get into that a little bit later. So let's start out with the most obvious difference that kind of immediately threw me off when I opened the box. You can see on this one here, the old one, is kind of this speckled gray pattern. I thought it looked really good. When I opened the new box, it was a flat black. That's annoying because I wanted to have matching systems. I didn't want them to be different. So much so to the fact that I went and bought a second shelf so it can match. So that is actually the shelf system that I'm talking about. Yes, it's for the color. Whatever. Anyways, so that was the first thing that kind of cued me into something being a little bit different. The next thing I felt, and I wasn't quite sure, but I definitely did confirm it later on, the metal seemed a bit thinner to me. This basically the thickness of these metal plates here, it felt a little thinner, a little flimsier than I had remembered. I didn't really worry too much about it, but I did want to kind of point it out and I want to measure it. So let's check out the old one first. So the thickness of the first one I got, about let's say 1.6 millimeters thick. Let's go to the new one. The new one is 1.3. So that's what, about a 20-ish percentile reduction in material. It definitely feels a bit flimsier. It's a shelf system. Most people aren't throwing 3D printers on. They're gonna be static. It's probably gonna be fine. Whatever. Nobody will notice something like that, right? Unless you already have the old one. And here I am with the old one and a new one. So I got a little bit less material. Well, hopefully it'll still work, right? So what is the next difference that I saw? This one is a little bit frustrating, and let me tell you why I was able to notice it. So the shelving system comes with, for the shelves, a 1/4-inch particle board. I still have some over here. So this is, you know, the particle board, 1/4-inch thick, that it comes with. That's fine for most things. I found it did not work for having two big 3D printers on it, and it started to kind of bend in the middle. So when I noticed that, I cut up some 3/4-inch plywood and put that as a shelf. It's been fine. It's been rock solid ever since. No big deal, not a complaint by any means, but just something I had to do. So when I was gonna get the new shelf system, before I had even bought it, I went and pre-cut some plywood. So I had it laying around one day, so I went and pre-cut, and I used these old pieces as a template because it should be the exact same, right? In theory, yes. In actuality, they cut a little bit of material out by 1/4 inch on each dimension, on length and on width of the shelf. Again, most people won't notice. Most people won't care. It's really not a big deal. Honestly, I'm not complaining about 1/4 inch less material on either dimension. But it was frustrating because I pre-cut these pieces, I built it, and then they didn't go in. I was like, what the heck? I measured this. This should be fine. It should work. Didn't work. So I had to trim the pieces again, re-sand them, break the edge, do all that stuff, waste even more time making those shelves. Frustrating. And just to visualize the difference, here is an extra shelf piece that I had from the old one that I was actually planning to use with the new one because it comes with 5 shelves and I wanted 6 because 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, I wanted one in the middle going across. So I was going to use the extra shelf I had from the old one and put it on. But because it's a slightly different dimension, about 1/4 inch, it doesn't work. Let me show you. So these things are very easy. You just put this in, just like that. But now look at this side. It is too long. It won't go in that hole. I'm not making this up, I promise. It's just a little bit different. Not a big deal, but I didn't expect it. If I had this from the beginning, I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have cared. But whatever. This is my own use case. So, what is the next and final bullet in this system? Now, so earlier in the video, I said there was something dangerous about this new shelving system. Let me tell you what it was. So obviously these are made out of thin sheet metal, as you can see right here. Now the old one, they did this properly. They filleted the edge here. You can see it's not a sharp corner. It doesn't go there to there, like a perfect square. It's not a perfect 90-degree angle. It's broken there, right? That is a crucial safety feature. Sheet metal can screw you up if you hit the edge of it. I didn't personally see it, but at my first job, somebody was just walking by in the factory, thin sheet metal just kind of standing on edge, sliced his leg open, through his pants, and had to go to the hospital. It was very close. It was like 1/4 inch away from his artery. He could have died immediately. So I don't mess around with this type of stuff. I'm in automotive. Safety is critical to everything we do. I got this out and I started putting it together and I put my hand on it and it was sharp. So these are not like how it came. I'll show you on the new one, but basically I had to take my grinder and grind off this edge and repaint it. You can sort of see it's a little bit different colored paint there. Because as I had this not as a double decker, I have this as a single level. The particle board, you can actually, I still have it in here. The particle board is what, I don't know, 1/2 inch or so below the edge. If I put my hand here, I'm gonna have it on a sharp edge and potentially cut myself open. Or if I slip and I go like that, that's a bad day. That's a really bad day. I don't wanna do that. So if you see this, and if you work at, I believe it's Lowe's home brand, if you work at Lowe's or anybody responsible for the shelving system, fix that, please. All right, so this wasn't necessarily a video I would have thought I'd be making or felt like I needed to make, but this is a safety relevant issue to me, and I thought that it's worth kind of spreading the word about, because the slight differences in size and slight differences in material thickness, I really don't care. As long as the shelf can do what it needs to do. Save a little money all around, it's not a bad thing, especially in this day and age. But when I see these sharp, thin, even thinner sheet metal pieces that don't have a broken edge, that aren't chamfered or filleted or something like that. And the stupid thing, this is what really, it's a free thing, right? This is just sheet metal here. And they water jet this pattern into a 2 1/4 inch wide piece of sheet metal. They have to do this edge here anyways. Just make the path, instead of going straight 90 degrees down, just give it a little curve. It's free and it's safer. Just do it. Anyways, maybe you learned something. If you do work with sheet metal, make sure you have a broken edge so you don't cut yourself. Especially if you're gonna have like a shelf here, a tabletop here, and the sheet metal right at the edge here, like you could have a bad day. Let's try and avoid that with everybody. If you work with this stuff, please, please, please be careful with thin sheet metal, especially thin sheet metal, because it's basically a blade. If you have a sharp corner, it's a blade. Just you know, be careful. With that being said, I bought a second one. Do as I say, not as I do, because we're gonna replace this guy just so we can have it matched. I'm gonna move it over. I probably have to redo that shelf system here. This is part of, you know, just kind of getting this re-going, getting the garage nice and cleaned up and have it be nice and perfect. So this is what I'm gonna do. Take off everything off the old shelf, put it all over the garage, take that down, build up the new one, trim that piece of plywood that I have there, and put it all back. So here we go. This is what I'm talking about. If you have these like this, which is one of the ways that they have in their directions, you have these sharp corners, and let me tell you, these things are sharp. There's even, I don't know if you can see it, but there's even like tiny little burr. You could easily cut yourself on this. This is just temporary here. That will go even further down, furthering the impact of this. So yeah, this is not okay, guys. This is not okay. Especially if in your recommended setting, you're gonna have these things sticking up. Sorry guys, but that should be improved. So now, this is what I have to do. It would be much easier to do that in a water jet pattern than me filing 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 of these things. What do you think? God damn it, Lowe's. Seriously, get your shit together. Seriously. Settle on this configuration. I like it. I'm happy with it, but I wanted more rows, more shelves. So I go online. I find out that you can buy more shelves. Fantastic. 48-inch shelving, 24 by 48 kit. Only difference is this is a 1,000 pound weight capacity, versus the actual kit that I got was 800 pound weight capacity for a shelf. These ones, this is it. This is the kit right here. It's thicker. I can feel that it's thicker. It's the old thickness. That's fine. Great. I'm happy. But can you guys understand what 48 inches is? 48 inches is 48 inches, not 48 and a quarter. All right. So I'm going to put this in here, right? I know it goes on the other side of the rail, but for the video purposes, and then look at this. It won't fit. I'm busy cutting up wood to make this happen, and there's no other options. This is the only shelf you guys sell, and the only extra shelving that you guys sell. You sell this, and you sell this, and they are not compatible with each other. Get your shit together. I don't have time to waste on this. As far as I can tell, this is the only Project Source 24 by 48 shelving unit that you guys sell. I couldn't find anything more in store. I couldn't find anything more online. This is the only one that's like this style. This is the only extra shelf kit that you guys sell. Clearly it's for the same thing, but clearly it doesn't work. I can't cut this. It's not like it's wood. I can't cut it. I can't cut the steel. I can't do anything with this. This is absolutely useless for me. I cannot make extra shelves like I was planning. Sorry, I'm a sweaty mess. I'm out in the sun cutting extra shelves up, extra boards up. For here, for there, and to go across here. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. This would have worked with the old system that I just took out. But of course it would have been different colors. Why not just have one? Just pick one, pick one, pick one and stick with it. Make 48 inches, be 48 inches, not 48 and a quarter. Unbelievable. Seriously, how many options do you need for these things? This is a different black. It's glossier and it has a texture to it. Then this one is a flat matte black. And this, I still have the old one. Still have the old one right here. This would work with that one. Why have differences? Why have different ones? You're gonna make gray the old one and black the new one, then stick to it. Not some in-between crap. So it's been a little while since all of that. I've cooled down a little bit. I was getting a little heated, a little angry at this whole situation that these things that look the same, that are on the same webpage at Lowe's website, all on the same picture together, don't line up together. Cooled off. It's a little frustrating, but it is what it is. So what would you do in the situation where you want some extra shelves? Would you start over completely and get a new shelving system? Or would you do what I did and basically throw money at the problem and buy another shelving kit so I can have a couple extra shelves? It is what it is. Luckily, these things aren't heinously expensive. They're not cheap, but it could be worse. I'm not gonna spend more time redoing this, buying more systems, selling this system. It's not worth it. So better just to get the extra shelf. If I ever need an extra shelf, a whole nother level or tower, whatever you want to call it, I'll have it. I'm only going to use a couple of the shelves at this point in time and store them until I need more. So in that regard, it is what it is, and let's get to setting this up and cleaning and organizing and all that stuff. All right, well, that's definitely much better. I think I basically have a relatively good system, at least for now. It'll definitely grow and change as time goes on. You need to figure out what to do with this guy. My wife wants to sell it. I don't. But yeah, let me show you around what this is looking like. So down here, I have some finished goods ready to be shipped out if an order comes in. Up here, I have rolls of filament, more or less kind of like RGB type of, or Roy G. Biv, rainbow, blue, red, green, yellow, orange, and then got some black and white and clear, and then some extra storage back there. Some ABS, sample colors of ABS, if I ever need those, just to have some different colors. Over here, I put van stuff on the back side of here, basically on this side, and it's kind of on the outside of the U, which kind of lets me have just all the inside be relevant to the business, more or less. The other reason why I wanted to switch the filament from this side, all the rolls of filament on from that row over there to over here, is because now I have access from both sides. This will just help me keep a better visual representation and be able to find colors easily. Over here, I didn't change anything, except for added that down there. I still have some areas over here. Eventually, I will have, you know, some more of these guys for those rolls to put right there. Over here, big improvement, I decided to go with 2 extra shelves, kind of a thin one and a thicker one. Small, medium, large kind of shelving spacing. I have shipping boxes basically ready to go here. I can just easily grab them. Scale, tape, some more boxes, some packing material down there, that packing material there. And behind that container is boxes I use at shows to put the products in. Just, you know, much thinner boxes, not for shipping. This up here will remain, you know, shipping and filming. It was definitely a bit of a journey to get here with this shelving system. You know, in hindsight, had some time to think about it, and I don't know, because essentially I think that other shelving kit for just an extra shelf was a 1,000-pound rating, and this is an 800-pound rating. They could have done that and like have that distance difference intentionally, so you don't mix and match different rated shelving, so you don't have 1,000-pound shelves on 800-pound posts here and overload these posts type of a situation. That's the best I got to defend their decision. There's zero documentation or literature saying that. I'm just kind of giving them the benefit of the doubt. Either way, I think it's wrong. It looks way too similar to not be compatible with each other. It's really frustrating. There's not enough information about that. Again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt when really they've caused me a lot of frustration. Maybe I shouldn't be giving them such an out. But anyways, this video went on a bit of a roller coaster, I must say. It started out basically just wanting to upgrade the system and then finding out, oh, they have changed some things. They costed it out. They made a cheaper product. They lowered the rating, kept the same price. But in the end, it's still plenty of capacity in terms of weight limit. So who cares? But then to not make them compatible with each other is really just frustrating from a consumer standpoint. And I think they really should kind of work on that, making it a lot more clearer for people. I'm probably one of the few people who will ever have to go through any of this. But anyways, I thought I would bring it up. Thanks for watching this video. If you're still around, make sure you like and comment down below. Say something to the effect of the shelving should be better. And I will know you watched to the end, and I'll super appreciate it. I really do. If you want to continue on with my journey here at the 3D printing little business out of my garage, hit subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos. I have another one basically explaining why I have so much inventory down here, because I went to a pen show and that's the result of it. Like I said, it's been about a month or so since I started this whole shelving project, actually even more than that. So there's some things that have happened since then, and I will get those videos out soon. Anyways, thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.